start decision making and branching statements. First, what is decision making and branching statement? We all know in operators we have studied different conditional operator. In decision making and branching is the statement which we can execute depending on a condition, or we can skip a particular set of statement depending on a condition. For example, first let us explain with a flow chart. Now basically what happens in case of C programming or any other programming, the program execution process is basically sequential. Sequential execution means if I consider if there is no branching statement, no jump statement, nothing is there, is a very simple program, then always the program will execute sequential. That means for example a program is collection of statement. Program is collection of statements. So statement 1, statement 2, 3, 4, in that way, for example, n number of statement is there. N number of, so this is a program, and the execution of the program will be sequential. That means first statement 1 will execute, then statement 2 will execute, then statement 3, then 4, and so on. In that way, all the statements will get executed. It will never skip a statement by skipping some other statement until we are giving an instruction to skip. That means if I say that statement 1 will be executed, statement 2 will execute, then it will skip statement 3 and again execute statement 4. So this is not possible. Basically program always executes sequentially. So in decision making and branching, this we can execute the program out of order. That means sequential execution, we can avoid the sequential execution by using this decision making and branching. So what we do basically, so these are the sequential statement that will get executed. Now after that there is a condition. For example, we apply a condition. And every condition has two probabilities. Either the condition will be true or the condition will be false. So either the condition will be true or the condition will be false. Either the condition will be true or the condition will be false. If the condition is true, so a statement will get executed here. Okay, so this is like this. So this is statement 2, this is statement 3. So what will happen? Here we will apply a condition. Now if the condition is true, so if you find out the sequence of statement, this is statement 1, 2, 3, total 4 statements are there. If I consider this is statement 1, 2, 3, total 4 number of statements are there. Now what will be the sequence? What will be the flow? So 2, if the condition is true and if the condition is false, the flow of the program will get changed. The flow of the program will get changed. So statement 1 will be executed. Statement 1 will be executed. After that, we will verify the condition. If the condition is true, then the program will flow in this way. So after statement 1, statement 2 will execute. Then again statement 4 will execute. So after statement 1 and in between statement 1 and statement 4, we have two statements. In between statement 1 and statement 4, we have two statements, 2 and 3. But both the statement will never execute. Either statement 2 will execute or statement 3 will execute. Okay. So if the condition is true, then it will be, sequence will be like this. Statement 1, then statement 2, then statement 4. So here you can see that statement 3 is not at all getting executed because statement 3 is at the other part of the program. Now if the condition is false, what will happen? Statement 1 will execute. Statement 4 will execute. Same way. But in between statement 1 and statement 4, as the condition is false, the flow of the program will be this. The flow of the program will be this. So statement 3 will execute. So here in this situation, statement 2 will not get executed. So I have shown two ways. When if the applied condition is true, then 1, 2 and 4 will execute, statement 3 will not get executed. And if the applied condition is false, then statement 3 will get executed, but statement 2 will not get executed. So that means what we are basically doing, we are executing a particular statement, or we are skipping a particular statement, or a particular set of statement maybe, depending on the condition. So that is called decision making and branching. So this we can apply through different processes there, through which we can execute this. Okay. So the first way that we are going to discuss is if-else statement. If-else statement. Okay. So the declaration of if-else or the syntax of if-else is like this. So it is like this. Here you can see, if we apply a condition, and then there are parentheses are there. This parenthesis is basically representing the true statement block. Okay. Then we apply else, and after the else there is again a parenthesis that is basically representing the false statement block. Okay. So if, then within the bracket we apply the condition depending on which we are going to decide. Then we write the true statement block. This parenthesis is basically this parenthesis is basically representing the true statement block, and then we apply the else part, and here this is the false statement block. So how the program will execute, that is similar flowchart. The condition is there. This is the condition. This is the condition. Then we have the true statement block, and then we have the false statement block here. Okay. So this is my true statement block, and this is the false statement block. If the condition is true, then true statement block will execute, false statement block will not execute, and if the condition is false, then the false statement block will execute and true statement block will not get executed. So that is the way how we are writing the if else, right? So here one important thing that we want to say is that What basically else is? What basically else is? Else means here you can see as per the flow chart, else is basically the false statement block. That means the condition that we are applying here, if the condition is true, if this condition is true, then it will execute. And if this condition is false, if this condition is false, then the false statement block will execute. So this else is basically the false part of the previous condition. The else is basically the false part of the previous condition within if. So without if, a else cannot exist. Without if, a else cannot exist, because this within the else, whatever we are writing, that will be the false statement block. False statement block of the previous condition that we have applied in the else, applied in the if. So if this is not there, if this part is not existing at all, then what is the importance or what is the existence of else? Else will depend on what? Right? That's why I am saying that else cannot exist without any if. But if is there, but else is not there, that is possible. The false a program may have only true statement block, false statement block may not be there, that is possible. But a false statement block cannot exist without any true statement block, or the else cannot exist without any if. Okay, so let us come to an example through which I will show you the if else statement. The same program that we have taken while discussing the conditional operator, that a number, given number, that is even or odd, a given number that is even or odd. So first I will show you through flowchart, then I will also show you through the program. Okay. So I have taken n is the number, okay, and we have to decide n is even number or odd number. We have to decide n is even or odd. Okay. Now it is very much sure that n, which is a number, it cannot be even and odd at a time. Okay. Either this number is even or this number is odd. So whenever we are writing a program, how will we decide that should we use if else statement here or should we not use if else statement here? So for that it is very simple, that this either or situation, whenever in a problem we come to an either or situation, either this will happen or this will happen. So this either or situation we can solve by using if else statement. Okay. So this n, either it is even or it is odd. So when this either or situation, let us go for the if else statement. Okay. Now what we have to do? The flow chart is very simple. This is the part. In the flow chart we should have a condition. We should have a well defined condition. Okay. And depending on the condition, if the condition is true and if the condition is false, we have to decide that what will be our true statement and we have to decide what will be our false statement block. So what we have to identify? We have to identify mainly three things. First, what should be the condition? What should be the exact condition? Then if the condition is true, what will we do? And if the condition is false, what will we do? So for this a number will be even or odd. So what should be the condition for this? The condition is very simple. We can say if a number is divisible by 2, that is an even number, and if a number is not divisible by 2, that is called an odd number. So that is the way how we can find out it is an even or odd number. Okay. So now let us apply the condition. The condition is n mod 2 is equals to 0. So that is the condition. So why we have selected this condition? If I consider n mod 2, that is basically remainder. Mod operation basically represents the remainder. So if a value of n is equals to 7 and 7 mod 2 will be 1, because if I divide 7 by 2, the remainder will be 1. So this is 1 equals to 0. 1 equals to 0. Okay. So the condition is this: n mod 2, n is equals to 7. So 7 mod 2 means 1, that is equals to. So this condition is false. This will be treated as false, because 1 is not equal to, we are comparing. So 1 and 0, they are not same. So this condition will be treated as false. And if I change the value of n, to 8, so it will be 8 mod 2, and the remainder will be 0, because 8 is divisible by 2. So the condition will become, in that place if I place 0 equals to 0. So now this condition will be treated as true. This condition will be treated as true because we are getting 0. So that is the condition. Here we will take the number and we will find out the remainder after dividing by 2 and check it is equals to 0 or not. Okay. So this is my condition. Now this condition is true or false? So if the condition is true means the number is, so this is the right hand side, true and false. Okay. So if the condition is true means if the number is divisible by 2, right? For 8 it was true. So if the number is divisible by 2, then we can say the number is even number. We can decide it is an even number. And if the condition is false, that means the number is not divisible by 2. The number is not divisible by 2, or after the division the remainder is not equals to 0. The remainder is not equals to 0. So we can take the decision that it is an odd number. So that means if a number is even or odd, we are deciding depending on this condition. That's why it is decision making and branching. We are taking the decision a number is even or odd depending on this condition. Okay. So now this flowchart, just we have to represent it in the form of if-else statement. What? So now we know the condition, we know the true statement, we also know the false statement. Just let us convert it into the programming concept. Okay. So what we do, first write the if. If you just, we have discussed the syntax. Within if we write the condition. Within if we write the condition. So what the condition is? N mod 2 equals to 0. That is the condition. Okay. Then within this parenthesis we provide the true statement. Within this parenthesis we write the true statement block. So this is my true statement block. So the true statement is even. So let me write here printf even. Okay. Now we write the false statement. So false statement we define by else. So else means if the condition is true, this will happen, and if this condition is false, else, then we come to the false statement. So here we write the false statement. The false statement will be printf false. Okay. So that is the way how we just convert the flowchart into the form of programming. So what will happen if I execute this program? If I execute the program with the value of n equals to 7, with the value of n equals to 7, so what it will first come here? Let us check the flow. It will first come here and check the condition. The condition is true or the condition is false. So for 7 obviously the condition will be false. For the 7 the condition will be false. So when the condition is false, this true statement block will not execute. The true statement block will not execute. So it will come to the false statement block. It will directly come to the false statement block and print odd here. Okay. So it will skip the true statement and execute the false statement. And if I change the value of n to 8, then the condition will be true, because 8 mod 2 will be obviously 0, remainder will be 0. So the condition will be true. And when the condition is true, from here it will directly come to the true statement block. So this is my true statement block, and the false statement block will not get executed. Okay. So this is the way how we execute the if-else statement, and through which we can decide a statement, or we can execute a statement, or we can skip a statement depending on a condition that I am going to explain through two very simple programs for if-else statement.
So here you can see a simple program using if statement that already we have discussed, that how to find out if a given number, that is number variable we have taken, a given number is even or odd. So I have taken a variable as number which is integer type, and here we have taken the input for the number. Now after that, here we apply the condition. So if you can see, the keyword we are using is if. After if, within bracket we write number mod 2 is equal to 0 or not. This is basically the condition that already we have discussed. And if the condition is true, then this parenthesis is basically representing the true statement. This parenthesis is basically representing the true statement block. So here we are printing the number is even, and this else part, this is basically representing the false statement block. So within if we provide the condition, and this else is basically the false part of the previous if condition. Within if, whatever the condition is, the false is, else is related to that. So if this condition become false, then the false statement block will execute. So that is a very simple program using if else statement. Here you can see here. Now let us run the program. Now it is asking for an integer to enter. So if I enter 78, so 78 is a even integer. So what happens for this value of 78? So it comes here, 78 mod 2, it check. 78 mod 2 is equals to 0. So the condition is true, because if I divide 78 by 2, we will not get any remainder. So here we are basically checking the remainder. So the remainder will be 0. So my condition is true. So as the condition is true, so this statement, this printf statement for even is getting executed, but this printf statement for is not getting executed because the condition is true, not false. So either this printf or this printf, only one printf will execute depending on the condition. So if I rerun the program, and here if I enter a odd value, so that you can see 45 is an odd integer. So it is now it is printing this statement, because for the value of number 45, this condition will be false. So it will print this statement. So here is another example of simple if-else program. Now this program I have selected to show that in a if statement we can merge multiple condition also. As you can see, this if statement where we have more than one condition, and that we have merged by using logical operators like AND and OR. So this is a program for leap year, where I will take input of a year and I will show that the year that we have taken as an input is leap year or not. Now what is the condition for being a year leap year? I hope all of you knows this. So basically that we have done here, this condition we have applied, that a year which is divisible by 400 and not divisible by 100 or divisible by 4. So this year is called a leap year. All the others year which is not following this condition are not considered as leap year. And in case of logical AND, you all know, if both the condition is true, then it will be treated as a true condition. And in case of logical OR, if any of this condition is true, then it will be treated as a true condition. So let us run the program. So first, for example, I am taking let us take 2000. Okay, a simpler year, 2000 as a year. Now if the year is 2000, here in this condition you can see this condition will be false, because 2000 is divisible by 400. Okay, and year that is 2000 is also divisible by 100, but it is also divisible by 4. So 2000 is basically divisible by both, divisible by 400 as well as it is divisible by 100 as well as it is divisible by 4. But for this year, this condition will be true, this condition will be false, again this condition will be true. So a year which is divisible by 400 and not divisible by 100 or divisible by 4, that will be considered as a leap year. So as per this, 2000 has selected as a leap year. And now if I take 2001, which is not a leap year. Why? Because 2001 is not divisible by 400, but it is not divisible by 100, and it is also not divisible by 4. So here this condition is false, this condition is false, this condition is true, this condition is false. So a year which is not divisible by 400 but divisible by 100 and also not divisible by 4, that will be considered as not a leap year. So that's why for 2001 it is not considered as a leap year. So basically in that way, by using logical AND and logical OR operator, we can merge multiple conditions within one if statement. So the previous program that I have shown were using only one condition within a if, we are executing a program. Here I have shown where we are using multiple conditions within a if statement to execute a program.